Hi there, I'm John from CNCKing.com, and today we make custom stainless steel floor grates. These floor grates, or vents, or registers, however you want to call them, basically just go flat like this here and allows air to shoot up from your furnace. So that's their purpose. In this case here, it's a flowery design, and it's made out of 12 gauge stainless steel, which is a little bit less than 1/8 inch, or roughly like 2.7 millimeters. So it's relatively thin, but because it's stainless steel, it's very, very strong. And these were water jet cut, as you'll see. So that gives it a nice sanded edge, which maybe I can get it to focus properly. It's really hard to see, but there's a nice edge to it. And on the top surface, it's just an orbital sander. I find that produces just a wonderful result on the surface of just about any stainless steel. It takes a little bit of time to get it properly done, but once it's properly done, it comes out really nice. And the best thing about it is that, as this will be on the floor, any fingerprints or things just don't show up. If this was left as 2B or number 4 finish, which is like the brushed look, then it's a fingerprint magnet. And anytime you touch it or anything like that, you'll see it immediately. The reason why I went with the water jet for these metal grills was basically I like the edge texture of what the water jet produces. So I use water and sand, and that basically abrades the surface. And it creates a nice sanded surface on the edges. And for something like this, where you might actually step on it, maybe by accident, it's in a corner in their house. You want something that's not sharp. And if I was to laser cut this, the edge quality would be 90 degrees, it would be amazing. But that's really sharp, and I'd have to dull that somehow. Either throw it in the sandblaster that I have, or just manually sand it down. Using the water jet, I get to cut it and sand it in one process. So it's a far more efficient machine for doing this specific application than any of the alternatives that I had. Regarding heat dissipation, that kind of stuff, this isn't really an issue for this project here. They're relatively small. The heat is not really concentrated in any one area when you're doing it. So it's not a problem. It's not a reason to go with water instead of photons. Now, what I always do is sand both sides using an orbital. I find that produces just an amazing texture on 2B stainless steel, and it's something that's easy to fix after the fact. And the reason for that is, now it's not a fingerprint magnet, but more importantly, if it gets scratched, it's very good to dull that scratch out just with another orbital. It just is a wonderful way of finishing stainless steel. So because we make everything custom to spec, if the customer wanted these to be thicker, let's say just for fun, 1/4 inch thick, we could totally do that, as well as much thinner, like 16 gauge or so forth. So we go up and down on the thickness. We can also go up and down width, height, length. So any sort of spec, any sort of design you could think of for a floor register or vent or grate, we can make for you custom to spec. And they don't always have to be the same either. Meaning that in this case here, they're 2 identical ones. But if you wanted 2 completely different designs for a house or what have you, we can make that just as easily as that. Now, if you wanted them out of, let's say, chlorine, which is a solid surface material, wanted them out of wood, which we've done in the past, or any other material you could think of, we can make them for you as well, and just fabricate them to spec and ship them right to your door.